Welcome to Shine Movement Space. In this 30-minute mat Pilates class, we'll start by warming up our abdominals and spine, and then work through some exercises that help us connect to our core muscles. This full body class has a little bit of everything, and using the small ball will challenge us to use our deep stabilizers throughout this session. I hope this routine leaves you feeling centered and connected to your body. Find yourself a place to set up, and let's get moving and shine together. Hello, so glad you're here today. We're going to be using a small ball or mini ball that's not fully inflated for this class. If you don't have one, you can try a foam roller that's not too dense or hard for your spine. You can also try a yoga bolster or just some firm pillows, or the class can be done without the ball as well. If you have any questions, be sure to ask in the comments. Otherwise, let's get started. We're going to start warming up our spine. This is nice and lovely for the spine. We're putting the ball just between our shoulder blades and our mid-back, and then we're going to roll on down. So as the ball is underneath our back, you can kind of use your elbows to support yourself. And then I want you to exhale. Tuck that pelvis under just slightly, pulling abs towards the spine. And then using your abdominals to help support, you can float your hands behind your head. We're going to make sure that our neck is nice and elongated. We're going to inhale, extend, opening up our chest over that ball. And exhale, tip chin to chest, extend, lengthening through your neck, and start to curl yourself up. So finding yourself grounded into the mat, inhale back, and exhale, lengthen up. We're taking just a few of these to kind of warm up the spine, get our body centered. Very nice. Feeling nice and open, our elbows can fall towards the sides as you extend over. And then we exhale, lengthening through our neck as we come up. Okay, let's start to think a little bit more about our core as we do this. So as we exhale, we think of the bottom of our rib cage sliding closer to the top of your hips. We inhale, open, and exhale, abdominals pull in and up, rib cage finds that connection to the top of the hips. Maybe we start to deepen the abdominal contraction just slightly as we curl up. And then we have one more here. Opening up, inhaling back, and then exhale, curl it up. I want you to think about those lower abdominals here, kind of the muscles beneath your belly button, pressing in and lifting up. We're going to just inhale here. This is now going to be our starting point. We exhale, we curl deeper into that C curve, flattening those lower abdominal muscles, pulling the ribs closer to the hips. We inhale back to our start. We exhale, curl a little bit higher. It's a very small move. Inhale back to start. Exhale, curl a little higher, pulling yourself a little bit more off of that ball. And then we inhale back to start. Exhale. And inhale. I want you to really start to feel those deep, stabilizing muscles here. Feeling almost like your hips have little magnets on them, and they're also pulling together as you come lighter on that ball and curl up slightly. Let's do one more. Inhaling and exhale. We hold this curl at the top. From here, you feel that engagement. If you need a little extra support here, you can bring your elbows down as long as those shoulders stay nice and down as well, or you can stay with the hands behind the neck. In this position, holding that curl, we inhale to prepare and exhale, lift one leg to tabletop, the other leg to tabletop. We lower and lower. Exhale, lift and lift and lower and lower. Already feeling those shakes. Remember, you can keep those elbows on the floor as well. Using our abdominals to help us stay light on that ball. A few more like this. Lift and lower and lower. Lift, lift, lower and lower. Let's do two more. We exhale, setting our spine, lift our legs and lower. One more, lift, lift, and we hold it here. Open your knees to a butterfly position and exhale, close them together. Open them up. We exhale, press that abdominal wall down and lift up through the pelvic floor to open and exhale, close and open. Arms can reach forward. Exhale, close. You have two more. Exhale, curling deeper, lifting maybe a little bit off that ball as you close the legs. And with the next one, we leave them open. We now think heels stay together. We can exhale, extend the legs long. That's an option. Or you can stay with the knees bent, opening, close. That's also an option. Remember, elbows can be down. If your elbows are down, think of tucking chin a little bit towards the chest so that the neck doesn't become too strained. Using your breath, inhale here. Exhale, lift a little higher. Inhale, exhale. Inhale here, exhale. We have two more like this. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, we hold it up. Hold it here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knees. You can roll yourself up, tuck chin to chest. Set your feet down, find a butterfly position with your legs, and stretch forward. Inhaling and exhaling, let it all go. Inhaling and exhaling. One more breath here. Inhale. And on the exhale, sit yourself back up, roll your shoulders down and back. All right, I hope your core feels nice and activated. I know mine does. And my voice is also coming in and out a little bit. I'm fighting some allergies at the moment, so excuse me for that. Okay, we're going to now rotate onto our side. We're kind of in the perfect position here. The ball's going to go underneath our side body, right against our rib cage. Again, if you have a foam roller and it's really dense, this might be too sensitive on your rib, so just be careful there. Okay, so elbow is under shoulder. We're pressing the floor away, lifting from underneath, and then we're just kind of resting on that ball as a little extra support. It's not supporting us. We're just using it as a reminder to stay lifted and have a little extra support. My knees are going to be bent. My hips are nice and stacked. I'm going to reach that top leg long. I'm going to flex that top foot and then point it. We flex, sending energy through the heel, and then point your foot long. Flex that top foot. It's parallel. Knee is facing the screen here. Point it. We flex energy through that leg and point and flex and point. Good. We lower that leg now, flex it at the bottom and lift it back to parallel. We point it, lower it, flex it, and lift it. Point, lower, flex, and lift. Point, lower, flex, and lift. Once you get this motion, we can start to use our breath, and lift. We point, inhale, lower, flex, exhale, lift. Point, inhale, lower, flex, exhale, lift. If your neck starts to hurt, try looking on the diagonal and releasing some of that tension. You have one more like this. Point and lower, flex, lift. Good. Keep it up there. Point that foot. We're going to take the top arm to the ceiling. We exhale, bring the top arm to our leg. Inhale, lift towards the ceiling. We exhale, kind of pressing that air away, creating some invisible activation here. Exhale. And inhale. Our hip stabilizers are working to keep that leg off the floor. And then if you'd like to add another layer, you can add a little lift towards that arm as the arm comes down. Exhale, lifting the leg and lower. Lift and lower. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last layer here if you'd like to try it. We're going to turn out that bottom hand on the diagonal. And as you press that arm down, you can lift, pressing through your hand, lifting off that ball, lifting the elbow off the floor and lower. Exhale, lift and lower. And lower. Good, we have just a few more here. And lower. Very nice, you have one more. Lift and lower. Good, bend your knees, arms can come down, give that hip a little tap. Well-deserved release. And then you're gonna take your shoulders, rotate them towards the floor, reach that arm long, and take a nice stretch on the diagonal. Inhaling here, exhaling. Inhale, exhale. Feeling the back of your rib cage expand. Inhale and exhale. Very nice. From here, we're going to take the ball out and rotate to our stomach. You can put your forehead on the ball just for a moment, and we'll release a little bit of that neck tension that may have built up. So forehead comes to the ball, and you can just kind of nod your head no, releasing any tension that might have popped up from that side body work, from looking at the screen. Letting your head feel light on the ball. Very nice. All right, whenever you're ready, we'll set up for the next exercise. We're going to think of pressing our pubic bone down into the mat so that our bum is not kind of popped up here. We press down. We're lifting from underneath through our abdominals, so feeling a nice support system from underneath. Arms are going to reach forward. We're going to keep our neck in line with the rest of our body. So trying not to let that head hang down. Just raise your shoulders here. Shoulders reach, rolling that ball in front of you, and then we're going to exhale. Slide those shoulders down and back. We're not necessarily coming up into a big chest lift here. Just feeling that feeling of the shoulders sliding down and back, activating those upper back muscles and also the armpit muscles a little bit, the serratus. Exhale. Inhale, arms reach forward. Exhale, draw them down. Inhale, arms reach forward. Exhale. We have one more like that. Arms reach forward, ball rolls forward. Exhale. Draw those shoulders down and back. Feel that nice stabilization there. Press down into the ball with your hands. We lift using our abdominal muscles from underneath. Energy comes through our legs. We inhale to prepare and exhale. Float those legs up off of the mat. Inhale to lower. Exhale, the legs float off the mat. They might only come to a little hover. And that's okay. We just want to think of all the way up through our thighs, lifting, feeling lighter, coming off that mat. How are we doing this? Well, we're using our bum muscles, our glutes. We're sending energy through those legs. And the rest of our body, our upper body, is even helping by staying nice and stabilized. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. If this is too sensitive on your pelvis, you can also take a small towel and keep it underneath your pelvis. You can roll your mat up a little bit, creating 2 layers. Good. And then if we want to add another layer to this exercise, we can exhale as we lift. We pull the ball in slightly, lifting our chest. Inhale, we lower with control. Exhale to lift. Pressing a little bit into that ball. Shoulders stay nice and stable. Inhale to lower. The hardest part is sometimes keeping the movement on the way up and down the same length of time. Exhale. Lift. Maybe your chest only comes to a little hover. That's also fine. Exhale. And lift. Inhale to lower. We have one more like this. Exhale. Shoulders pulled down. We pull that ball in. Abdominal support from underneath. We hold. Inhale. And we lower with control. Very nice. Bring that ball back under your forehead now. Release any tension that's built up again in the neck by shaking your head no. You can bend your knees and also kind of windshield wiper with your knees to release any tension as well. Very nice. When you're ready, we're going to press ourselves up and back, stretching. And then we'll make our way onto the other side for our side body. If you'd like, you can also just roll on over, but I'm going to swing my legs around and switch sides here. So, ball comes underneath that rib cage again. Elbow is under our shoulder. Feeling that stability through our shoulder, so we're pressing the mat away, thinking nice and long here. Hips are stacked on top of each other to start. Knees can be bent at about a 45-degree angle here. All right, getting set up. We're supported from underneath our body here. We extend that top leg long in line with our hip. We flex our foot. We point our toe. We flex our foot and point it long. We flex it and point. As we flex, we think of energy extending out of our leg through our heel. We point our toe. We flex and point. And one more like this. Flex and point. Now we lower our leg, flex and lift and point. Lower, flex, lift and point. Lower, flex, lift and point. Lower, exhale, flex, lift and point. Inhale, lower, flex. We exhale as we lift and point. You have just a few more like this. Flex and point. Making sure that torso is nice and stable. We're not rocking and rolling through our hips or upper body. We have one more. Keep that leg up. Now arm reaches towards the ceiling. Reset that shoulder a little bit if you need to and press that palm down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. So you kind of create invisible tension underneath your arm. And then it's like you're scooping up the air to bring it up. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. When you're ready, we can add that little leg lift to the arm and lower and lift and lower. We keep energy reaching long through that leg. I know this one can get a little spicy. So you take a break if you need a break. That's all right. Just reset yourself. Better to have a nice form than to struggle through. And when we're ready, we can turn out that front arm, adding that elbow raise and lower. So we're lifting just slightly off that ball with an exhale. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Little tricep press with that bottom arm. Exhale. And inhale, 2 more. And 1 more here. Hold it up. And lower with control. Arm can swing down. Give that hip a tap. Inhale and exhale. And then rotate your shoulders forward. Reach that arm on the diagonal. Take a nice stretch for your spine. Inhale. And exhale. Release any tension in that neck by nodding your head nope. 1 more breath. Inhale, feeling your rib cage expand. And exhale. Very nice. We're going to rotate onto all fours now. Ball is going to go underneath one of our hands. So bring that ball under one of your hands. Both hands are still under your shoulder. You can press down slightly into that ball. And then our knees are under our hips. Inhale here. Neck is long in line with your spine. Exhale, draw your abdominals towards your spine. Inhale here, and on the exhale, we send the opposite leg backwards without shifting through our core. Inhale to bend it in. Exhale to send that leg back. So we're trying not to shift. That's super challenging with the unstable surface here. Core needs to fire on, and we're trying to keep those hips nice and level. Exhale, send that leg back. Inhale in. Exhale. And inhale. When you're ready, if you'd like, you can add a roll, an extension forward with that ball arm and bring it in. Exhale. And inhale. This can be done without the ball as well. And we want to make sure that we're only going up to about hip level with that leg so that our back is not swaying here. So we're really finding that connection of our bottom rib to our top hip Rib cage just staying closed. One more like that. And then on the next one, we leave that leg long. We lift that ball up. And then we lower, tap the floor with the ball and the toes and lift. Lower, exhale, lift. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. You have two more like this. Lower. Exhale, lift. One more. Hold it up here. Now we round our spine. Find a C curve. Pull arm in, pulled knee to chest. Exhale, extend it long. Or inhale, extend it long. Sorry, exhale. Press the floor away. Round your spine. Inhale, extend it long. Exhale. And inhale. You have two more like this. Exhale. And inhale, one more. Exhale. And inhale. Reach it long. Lower it down. Bend your back knee in, and then you can reach forward and find a little child's pose here. Inhaling and exhaling. All right, on the next exhale, let's reset and set up for the other side here. So I'm gonna pull my shoulders back over my arms, pressing my hand into that ball. Knees and hips are nice and stable. We always inhale, prepare. Exhale, abdominals draw towards your spine. Feel that stability here. Inhale. And on the next exhale, we extend that opposite leg back. And inhale, bring it in. Exhale, extend that leg back. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, trying to stay nice and centered here without shifting too much into that standing leg. Exhale, reach it back. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale. And inhale. If you would like, you can add that opposite arm rolling forward here. Exhale. Pull it all in. Pressing slightly into that ball as it comes in. Really activating that entire core. Trying to keep those hips nice and stable. It's not easy when you do it all with control. On the next one, we're leaving arm and leg long. We lift up that ball. Gazing, neck is in line with our head is in line with our neck. We lower. Exhale, lift. Lower, tap ball and toes towards the floor, and exhale, lift. Feeling that stability. Feeling that core fire up. If you're feeling this in your lower back, think of really activating those lower abdominals and try not to sway your back as that leg lifts. Pelvis doesn't move. Last one, hold it up. Exhale, C curve. Pull that knee and ball in, and inhale, extend long line. Exhale. Chin to chest. Inhale, extend it open. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. 2 more, exhale. Inhale long, last one, my friends, exhale. Inhale, very nice. Fall to the floor, knee can come in. Take a nice well-deserved stretch here. Inhaling, feeling your entire rib cage expand, exhaling, softening towards the mat. Inhale and exhale. Last breath, inhale, exhale. Very nice. Bring that ball kind of just underneath your chest here. We're going to shift back. You're going to feel kind of a child's pose feeling, but we're going to make circles with our hips around and back, and then the other way. So kind of half circles, loosening up those hips and cooling down here. Very nice. And one more the other way. And then let's end in the center here. You're gonna take that ball towards the side, and then you're gonna exhale. Thread it under, kind of tapping your shoulder towards the mat, and open. Exhale. Feeling a nice stretch behind your shoulder blades, and open. Rotating your spine. Exhale. And open, and one more. Very nice. Let's switch hands. You can keep your weight just slightly behind your hands too, if your wrists are feeling sensitive right now. Exhale, tapping down. Oh, feeling that nice shoulder stretch. And open. Exhale. And open. 2 more like this. And 1 more. Very nice. Very good. Take any little last minute stretch you need. And then when you're ready, let's come to a comfortable seated position to end our class. We inhale, nice big breath, and we exhale, bring your hands to your heart. You can close your eyes. Inhale here. Exhale, feel your heart beating beneath your fingertips. Inhale, thanking yourself for doing something for your body today and for your mind. Inhale and exhale, let your arms float open, let your shoulders roll up, down and back. If you liked this video, I would appreciate a nice little thumbs up or a subscribe. And no matter what, I hope that your body feels nice and engaged, you feel connected and centered throughout your body and your mind. And I hope that you continue to take that through the rest of your day and shine, my friend. Bye. Sincere thanks to you, my friend, for being an important part of the beginning of this channel. Every view, thumbs up, subscribe, and encouraging comment increases connection and really does help this space to grow. Please consider following if you haven't already. I appreciate your support and I hope you'll join me again.